Welcome back. This is the 2022 Toyota Tacoma TRD Pro in this awesome lime green color. And that is one of my favorite things about this truck. Man, Toyota's done such a good job at just keeping this truck kind of fresh over the years and making it look cool and awesome. And people still love this truck. Of all the things I've driven, this has definitely gotten a lot of attention. Especially with its paint, but especially because people just love Tacomas, especially in the TRD Pro trim. And rightfully so. It's awesome. Right out of the box from the factory, you've got a pretty well equipped and capable off-road oriented truck. Now, a lot of people buy these and don't off-road them. And if that is what you're buying it for, to be a daily driver, I don't know that this should be your first choice. But if you do daily drive one of these and you occasionally go off-road into the desert or bouldering or whatever, I think you're gonna have a lot to like here. So I've really enjoyed my week with this thing. I wanna show you around. It's been a lot of fun to drive on the road, a little bit off-road. I definitely have not tested its limits here. There's other videos from other journalists that can cover that for you. You know what you're getting. But as far as like a daily driver and living with this every day, I think I've got a pretty good idea of what it's gonna be like for you. So let me show you around. So coming up to the TRD Pro Tacoma, I apologize, it's dirty. We've had some dirty rain here in Salt Lake, per the usual, and sprinklers are just starting to come on for the season, and so it has some hard water spots on it. But as you can see, it looks really good. And one of my very favorite things about it are the headlights, where on the passenger side, it says TRD. And then if you come over to the driver's side, it says Pro. And that lights up at night so everybody can see that you have the cool one, the TRD Pro. You also have some pretty awesome off-road gear in here. The TRD Pro has a lot of nice extras. I'll show you the window sticker in just a minute. Another really cool feature is just this stamped in TRD Pro insignia there. It used to be a sticker. Now they've just stamped it in to show it's extra special. This is a cool truck, guys. The exhaust is different, the lift is different, everything, not everything, but a lot of it is different. So again, if you're looking for a great, reliable truck that'll get you going really wherever you want. I mean, the Colorado ZR2 is probably a little more extreme than this, especially with its bison package. But as far as compact trucks go, this is a good one, guys. So as far as that window sticker goes, you can see this one totals out just over almost $51,000 with delivery and processing and handling fees. But with the TRD Pro, you have the front grille, hood scoop graphic, TRD tuned Fox 2.5 internal bypass shocks with remote reservoirs, and they feel great. Rigid Industries LED fog lights, TRD front skid plate, on and on. You have the 3.5 liter V6 with the 6-speed automatic transmission, and I will talk more about that in just a minute. 2-speed transfer case, electronically controlled, locking rear diff, multi-terrain, everything. I mean, basically, here's your off-roader, compact off-roader from Toyota, right from the factory. So coming into the driver's seat, I gotta say, the seats are way more comfy than I thought they'd be. They're very soft. Some of the softer seats I've sat in recent memory. And some people, you know, have kind of complained against the Tacoma for its unique seating position, where your legs kind of go out rather than down. But, you know, it doesn't really bother me. So maybe it would on like a longer road trip. But as far as what I've had it, you know, driving it in this last week, it hasn't been bad. Start it up, just press the button. You hear that classic V6 come to life. Analog gauges, you've got a small screen here in the middle that gives you some information. Not a lot, but some. You have just kind of old school plastic dials. I do like how it's laid out, and I love that there's, I guess it probably came here first, but these are the same vents that are in the BRZ, or were at least, in my old BRZ, and I love that. You've got, you know, it's an okay screen. You have, I'll show you, cameras that are not the best. Grainy, fuzzy, gives you, you know, okay information, but not amazing. I do appreciate that you can switch the displays. You know, here's just the rear view. There's the split. You've got a wireless charger that is decent. It sometimes recognizes your phone, sometimes does not. It could be my case too. But other than that, you know, pretty straightforward. Not a lot of exciting features here, and that's to be expected. You know, that's not what this really is for. So if we hit the view button, oh, if we get it out of reverse, actually, hit the view button. View button does give you some cool side views, front camera, and then of course the main screen here. The audio is okay. It's a JBL stereo, which sounds good, but nothing too crazy. Again, it's not really why you're buying this. But overall, I think this is a pretty nice place to spend time. You've got your crawl control here, locker, moonroof, TRD Pro on the headrests. Otherwise, lots of plastic, decent armrest, nice center armrest. Got a small cup holder there, 2 more cup holders there. Not bad. Coming into the rear of the Tacoma, me sitting behind myself, it's okay. Again, it's about on par with the rest of the compact truck segment. I think it's better than the Frontier, maybe slightly more cramped than the Colorado and the Canyon. But, you know, you could survive back here for a little while. I love that you have this capped bottles only for when you're going over crazy, rough terrain. Here's another shot of the dash layout, steering wheel, and the front area. Anyway, out of reverse, let's go home, take this for a drive, and give you some driving impressions. Of all the trucks that I've had, this one has gotten the most compliments. And I think it's mostly because of the color. And this lime green color it's truly awesome. I mean, Toyota, you know, sticks with the things that they do for a long time, and they update them in very subtle ways. And this lime green color has a way of making the truck seem and look a lot newer than it actually is. And there's a lot here that's actually really good. And I know that there's like, the Tacoma fans are super diehard, and they are so loyal. And you know, for the most part, I'm with them. I think that this overall is a really great truck. There's some things that I really love about it. And there's a few things that honestly drive me crazy. The backup camera being one of them. I am shocked at the resolution quality. Anyway, that's just a couple things. But driving this actually has been really enjoyable. I've driven a few Tacomas in the past, and I gotta say, here in the TRD Pro trim, this has been the most I've enjoyed driving a Tacoma daily. Now, I'll admit to you right up front, I haven't had much experience taking this off-road. This has been much more of like, what do most Tacoma TRD Pro, not most, but what do some, you know, Tacoma TRD Pro owners do? Well, they just daily drive it. They drive it to work, they drive it to the grocery store, they put their kids in the back. And that is what I'm basing my review and my perspective on here, as just kind of how has the TRD Pro Tacoma been as a daily driver. And in that sense, there's some interesting things. The suspension is excellent. I think that this is one of the best riding trucks I've been in, especially a compact truck. It feels pretty similar to the Nissan Frontier Pro 4X, but this feels even softer than that did. This has the Fox shocks with, in the rear it has a remote reservoir, and the Frontier Pro 4X had the Bilstein shocks, and which I also thought was excellent. That Frontier rode really well. But this is rode great. I really like how it feels. I like how the suspension feels. I think that these seats are surprisingly soft and comfortable. I think the Frontier seats are probably a little bit better, but these are some of like the most soft seats I've been in a long time, and I like them. I've had a lot of friends I've got, that own these things, and they just go everywhere in them, like stock. They might change tires, but really it's, wherever you want to go, this thing's going to take you. But even around town, on just roads, city roads, the suspension's so good, and I've really enjoyed driving it. Now, a couple complaints that I haven't enjoyed. You can probably hear one of them there. This engine and transmission are so weird, and this engine is begging for a supercharger. Toyota, bring back the supercharger. Toyota used to offer a supercharger for the Tacoma, and I think they even offered it for the 4Runner, but I don't think they don't anymore. It's been discontinued, and this truck is begging for it. This V6, I think, puts out about 270 horsepower, and it's just not enough. This thing needs 30, 50 more horsepower. I think of like the Frontier that I had that had just over 300 horsepower, and that was nice. That felt really good. But this feels like it's made it to the 6-speed automatic transmission, and good grief, for how often this transmission shifts, like you'd think it was like an 8 or 9 speed, but it's not. It's just that there's no power there's no torque. And like, it's fine maybe for some like city driving and stuff, but I mean, if you're going to be going off really intense off-road trails, and like even on the freeway like we are now, you're going to be putting your foot in it like a lot, and you're going to be putting your foot in it like all the way down the gas pedal. And so I don't know why there's not more power here. I don't know why the supercharger is not offered. I wish that it was. I don't know that it's a deal breaker, because you're going to get amazing reliability with this, and you're going to get amazing like off-road and comfort, and like just the Toyota Tacoma, like just everything that comes with that name. And I think that on itself is probably still enough to really seriously consider this if you're looking for a compact truck. But if power and an intuitive transmission are your thing, you're probably going to be disappointed here, just to speak completely frank with you. It's surprising. Like this, the transmission keeps the engine going below 2,000 RPMs like 85% of the time. And then anytime you move the gas, it's constantly shifting. Any fluctuation, even on the freeway in elevation or angle, it's like shifting like all the time, just like hunting for power. And it's just strange. Man, this thing would be awesome with the twin turbo V6 from the Tundra. I don't even know if it would fit in this engine bay, but that would be sweet here. I mean, even like a detuned version of that engine would be so cool. I really liked the Tundra. I know that video has actually gotten a lot of hate because I liked it so much, but all I can speak to is my week with it, and I really enjoyed the new Tundra. It drove so well, and I loved the engine, and like I don't care that there's like fake sounds being piped in. Like it was a good engine, and I got 23 miles to the gallon in that thing. So similar thinking applied here to the Tacoma, I think would make this truck like, this is already a really good truck, but I think just like tweaking some power and transmission stuff would just really just blow the competition away. And but everything else about it I really enjoy. Like, that all said, if I was looking for a compact truck, it would be right up there. Like, this would be right up there. And I think if you are in the market for this, I think that you should go spend some good time with it. And I definitely think you should drive it next to the next to a Frontier Pro 4X. I think that you'll find pros and cons in both, and it's just going to be like up to you, what you decide through. Okay, but if it's just aesthetics, I think hands down, like the new Frontier actually looks really great. I love it a lot. But this, if you can get this paint, like this paint alone, I think is maybe even worth the purchase. It's so cool. It just looks awesome, and I think you're going to get a lot of compliments in it, and people are going to love it because people just love the Tacoma. It's got such a storied, respected name behind it and reputation. So a couple other things to note here. Pricing, this is just over 50 grand. So again, in comparison to the Tundra, it's actually not that far off. Again, you're not going to get like the TRD Pro Tundra for a reasonable, but for 64 grand, you can get a limited with the TRD off-road. So yeah, it's more money, 14 grand more, but it's not that far off, and you get a lot more truck. So again, it's kind of like what you're looking for. But man, there's so much traffic here. Fuel economy, it's been decent. Let's see what I can tell you where it's been. 17.5, and that is like 70% city driving, or not city, freeway driving. So, it's not that far off of where the estimates are for the EPA. But other than that, I mean, that kind of lays it out for you. I've tried to be just, as honest as I can with just like my short time with this Tacoma. I've put a couple hundred miles on it. So I'm not an expert, haven't had it like on any extreme off-roading, but I've no doubt, I used to own a Land Cruiser. I've no doubt that this is like so capable right from the factory, and you're going to be very, very happy if that's, what you're after, especially if it's like legendary reliability. The only, real sacrifices being made there are with the engine and the power and the transmission. So it's just a matter of what you want. But thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope this helps, and I'd love to hear some comments in the bottom, like why, below why you bought the Tundra, or not Tundra, Tacoma, or didn't. Let us know your experience with the Tacoma, and if you don't mind, please, as always, liking, subscribing to the channel. This has just been a lot of fun, and hopefully there's some discussion that can happen below to help buyers know, like, what do we like, what don't we like. And anyway, you guys are awesome. Hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you later. See you guys.